Welcome to LBM Talks Social Media. I'm Sally Lacey, the social media manager for LBM Journal, and every other week I have conversations with lumber dealers from around the country about how they're using social media to grow their business. I hope you stick around, because it's time to get social. Listeners, welcome to LBM Talks Social Media. Just to kind of explain this podcast segment a little bit, LBM Talks is kind of a network where we are going to have different segments with different hosts talking about kind of just different aspects of the LBM industry to help all of our listeners in their business endeavors. I am so excited because I am actually in person with our first guest today. She is local. I'm with Sadie Hoyt. And Sadie, hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me, Sally.
Sadie, why don't you tell us who you work for and what you do?
My name is Sadie. I work for Dakota County Lumber, or as we'll probably refer to it in the rest of the podcast, DCL. And I am the marketing specialist there.
So, Sadie, you and I were having a brief conversation beforehand. And you told me that you are the first marketing specialist ever at DCL. So what was the team like before they brought you on? How did they decide to bring you on? How did they find you?
Yeah, so Sunny, who is our CEO, Sunny Bowman, and Emily Youngs, who is the executive assistant at DCL, they were kind of doing the social media aspect. And Sunny has always had big goals and wants our brand out there further. We right now deliver to all over the metro area and the Twin Cities in Minnesota. But Sunny really wants our name out there. Like, our goal 10 years down the road is to be the go-to brand for every small builder in the Twin Cities. And so because of that, they realized that between Sunny and Emily doing their regular jobs and trying to post on social media and not even really doing any other marketing things, they wanted somebody who could kind of own the brand and then also do social media regularly. So they put out a job application November, December 2023. And I had moved to Minnesota 5-6 months before that, and was looking for a job and saw that there was a lumberyard hiring a marketing specialist. And so I applied, and from the first interview, I was like, I want to work here. This is where I want to work. And I was so glad they hired me.
So do you have a background in marketing? Do you have a degree in marketing?
So I have a degree in communications. And after graduating with my bachelor's degree in communications, I started working for a nonprofit that helped homeless families. And during that time, I wore a ton of hats. I did grant work, I did volunteer, I did development, and then the nonprofit didn't have anybody running their social media, but they had it. And I was like, I'll do it. And so from there, I just kind of started doing it, and I started really liking it. It was kind of a break from the heavy stuff I was dealing with working at a nonprofit helping homeless families. And it was a way to get more volunteers, which we were trying to do. It was during COVID, so we were trying to figure out stuff. And then my husband got a job in Minnesota, so we moved out here, but I was still doing part-time work for the nonprofit. And it was just really hard to figure out how to do remote work and not be where I was before and all that. So I started looking for a new job. And at that time also, I had a puppy, and I made an Instagram account for him. I'm one of those people, and started learning how to do reels from him. I didn't know, the nonprofit didn't really do reels before that. They were just doing images. And so I was like, I like social media. I want to learn how to do reels. And so I started doing it for my dog. And in fact, when I was applying at Dakota County Lumber, I showed them reels that I had made of my dog, and I think Sunny and Emily really liked that. They were like, "Wow, oh, this is cool! I was like, my big philosophy is if you don't know something, I'm going to go figure it out. And that's like a huge thing at Dakota County Lumber. There's so many people that work there that are like, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And the leadership empowers you to go figure it out. And so they liked that. And I was like, is this like weird to show in an interview? Like, this is my dog and these are reels I made of me and him paddleboarding together. and they loved it and hired me. So
no, that is so great to hear. It seems like Sunny and just the team at DCL is willing to take risks and, like you said, dream big. And I think that can really get you far. So that's really great. And we see a lot of your guys' culture, I think, on social media. So
it's a huge thing that we showcase. Yes.
Yes, it seems very fun.
Super fun.
That makes sense with the reels in the interview.
Yes.
So are you the only person who's really running the account?
So I run the account. Sunny also has access to the account. And then Scott, our general manager, also has access. And basically he likes everything. He goes through and likes. Sunny posts stories occasionally and does stuff like that. And then I do
You kind of do the strategy.
Yes. Strategy, posting. I also do a lot of commenting as it.
Yes.
So it's a team effort, but I'm like the majority.
Okay.
Yes.
So Sadie, let's get into a little bit of the meat of basically like what social media is for businesses. Because I feel like social media can be hard to understand. One, like what goes into it, but two, why you're doing it.
Yes.
Like it can be very hard to.
It's hard to quantify.
Yes.
People like to see ROI, return on investment.
Yeah,
and you can't quantify it necessarily.
I have struggled with that because I'm kind of an analytical person. So it's like I have to have it down on paper what I'm doing, why, and like all the numbers and stuff. So just to kind of start out, like what are DCL's goals?
Yes.
On social?
So I track our engagement rate, which is comments, likes, shares. When you look at LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook, those are the 3 platforms we use. The little buttons like, comment, share. I track those numbers.
Engagement rate.
Yes, engagement rate. I also track our followers, which is not an indicator of whether you are doing good or not. It's just good to know if it's increasing or decreasing and why.
Okay, so that's what you track.
That's what we track.
Yeah, how about like objectives? Like when you're thinking about strategy and stuff.
So we cater to 4 audience members.
Yes.
That we cater to when we're posting. Current customers, future employees, and then the community that we live in, whether that's the Twin Cities or Farmington, or anything and everything in between. So a lot of our stuff is future customers, right? We want more customers. We want people to know that you can get a perfect delivery every single time. And then we also want to bring good talent and good employees to Dakota County Lumber. So a lot of our stuff is geared towards future employees. And then community, we're always posting about, the hockey team that we're sponsoring or, the foundations that we're supporting. It's, it'll be past by the time this comes, but today's Give to the Max. And today we posted about, a foundation that we support, the Housing First Minnesota Foundation that, we want people to give to them for Give to the Max. So, and then we have current customers and information like, we're closing during Thanksgiving or during the holidays and we're having a party, come. And then anything and everything in between, like showcasing our culture, that can be for customers, that can be for future employees. And a big thing we like to show is who the heart of DCL is. So the employees and what actually makes up DCL. So
you guys are on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Yes.
You said. So which would you say is your most fruitful platform?
It's definitely Instagram. For sure. 100% Instagram, no doubt. But I think LinkedIn is definitely up and coming, but for different reasons. So the beginning of this year, 2024, I hadn't done much with our LinkedIn. I had maybe posted like 10 times in 2023. And so a goal I set for myself was we're gonna get more of a presence on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, people prefer to follow people over brands. And so it's been kind of a struggle throughout the year. And I've just figured it out the past couple months is DCL will post something and then I will reach out to our leadership team and be like, okay, can you repost this and put it in your own words?
Right.
Because originally I was trying to get the leadership team just to post stuff. And it was more work for me. They were like, they were struggling to put it in their own words. But when I write it for DCL posts it, and then they repost it and build off of what I already wrote, we are seeing big numbers and big engagement, not necessarily on our DCL page, but on the leadership team's pages. And it's getting our brand out there that way. And it's a really creative thing that we came up with, and it's really cool to see it's working.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so amazing to hear. LinkedIn is a very different platform than Facebook and Instagram. Are builders, are they on LinkedIn?
I don't know. That is a really good question. It's something I'm trying to figure out as I'm looking at our leadership team and the engagement they're getting. Because Dakota County Lumber doesn't get as much. Like, so for example, I posted something that got like 10 likes, no comments.
Okay.
Sunny reposted it, wrote 2 or 3 sentences, got 60 likes and 10 comments. Right? So I'm looking then at those comments, or those builders, or those industry leaders. Either way, if it's not reaching out to builders, it's reaching out to another one of our 4 people that we're reaching out to, right? Future employees.
Yes.
The community, future customers, right? Whether or not those customers are builders, or if they're, walk-ins like homeowners, DIYers, which is why I think it's really good for somebody considering doing social media to consider who your audience are, because it probably is more than just your customers.
Exactly. That is such an interesting point, because I think a lot of the times the thought is customers, sales. But LinkedIn, it sounds like for you guys, has a little bit of another fruit of it, which is like networking, and also recruiting. Recruiting is a big one that I hear from people.
It is huge. And so another one of our goals for our 10-year plan, we do want to be a destination workplace. So a place where we can attract good talent and talent that wants to stay. And that goes from boomers, Gen X, millennials, all the way down to Gen Z, where we want to attract all the talent.
That is definitely something that I have seen as a theme for social media. So like when we're thinking about why businesses are on social media, yes, one is like marketing in the sense of new customers and things like that. But I think about my patterns. I am going to look you up on social media and see what your business is about. Whether I'm like buying from you, or whether I'm curious about this, or maybe I do want a new job, I am going to look you up on social media, because you get so much information.
So I'm so glad you said that, because there were 2 statistics that I saw on Sprout Social, which is... Love Sprout. Big fan of Sprout. This is from Sprout Social. 77% of consumers are more likely to buy from brands they follow on social media. And then 55% of consumers learn about brands. 55% of consumers learn about brands or companies on social media. 78% from Gen Z, 61% from millennials, 56% from Gen X, and 35% from baby boomers.
Wow.
78% of Gen Z learn about brands or companies from social media. You're Gen Z, right?
Yes.
I'm millennial.
Okay.
So, and that's 61%.
Sadie, coming in with those numbers, let's go.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
saw
some
those like
very
2 days
interesting
ago.
statistics.
Yeah. Yes. And so if somebody and this was perfect knowing I was going on the podcast, because I was talking to a lot of people. It's like, well, tell me why I should do marketing. Like, why should I have marketing for my business? Why? Yeah. Right. And that's the big question. And it's like, people want to learn about companies. They're going to go on social media. They're looking at it.
I think basically the internet is now the way to communicate.
Yes. So sometimes dealers and, well, anybody in social media can go, I don't know what to post. And I think that's a big concern. What do I post? I don't have anything. And I would say make a list of like 5 to 10 things you are most proud of in your business. So people, customers, maybe, our trucks, we post our trucks all the time. Like they're yellow, they're cool. Maybe it's a specific person. Maybe it's, we're really proud of this one product. Take a picture of it and put in the caption why you're most proud of it. And do that for everything you made on that list. And then do it again come up with more things you're proud of. It's almost like starting a gratitude journal, but then changing it from I'm grateful to this is what I'm proud of. We're proud of this work and this is what makes us good. And your messaging will then turn from we're proud of this and that's it to we're proud of this and that's why you should come buy from us. We're proud of this and that's why you should come buy from us. And that is such an easy way to start.
My 2 best performing platforms are LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yes.
Facebook is a little, I don't really understand Facebook.
So Facebook is definitely more community for us.
Yes, I could see that working well for a local business.
Yes. And so small businesses out there, small lumber yards, like you want the community members to be more friendly towards your truck drivers. You want community members who aren't calling and complaining that your trucks are driving through the neighborhood. Post stuff on social media about what you're doing in the community on Facebook. Also, we have seen a lot of hires from locals because we have a couple guys who have been with the lumberyard for years, and we put out we're hiring on Facebook. They share it, and their buddies in the community then all share it. And all of a sudden, we have like our own little LinkedIn going on Facebook of locals that are passing around our application. And we've hired a couple people from just Farmington, Minnesota, because they end up sharing it and we get a really good person out of it.
That's fantastic to hear just kind of the power of social. Kind of to just wrap up a little bit of what we were talking about before I go to like a couple last questions is social media is a great tool to get your message out there, to engage with your customers, or just whatever community revolves around your business and other initiatives. But I think those are 2 really big ones. So, and you guys do a great job at that. So that's why we had you on.
Thank you.
So based off of your experience as an LBM dealer and what you do, what would be some advice you would give to other LBM dealers, maybe to someone who does not know where to start? How would you advise them to start thinking about it or to start planning for it?
Yeah. So like we talked before, identify your audience, because where your audience is the spaces you want to be. Ours, we have remodelers. Remodelers are on Instagram, right? We have builders. There are a lot of our builders that are on Instagram. There are some builders that are on Facebook as well. So just like thinking about your audience, and it's more than just your customers, for sure. So I would say first thing, identify audience. There's a big fear, and Rick actually posted about this on LinkedIn recently about being canceled. And as a business, you show up authentically to entertain. That shouldn't even be a worry. And it is a big worry for people.
You think so? I've never heard that.
Oh, really? I think people are like, what if I say something wrong? What if I upset my customers?
Yes.
What if and so maybe not like the concern of being canceled, but just like what if I upset somebody? And if you're showing up authentically, I don't think you need to worry.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah.
And how about for an LBM dealer who has a presence on social media and wants to ramp it up a little bit? Maybe they're on all the platforms.
Yeah.
What would be your advice?
A lot of things I see with LBM members is they're so good at posting their products and posting their trucks.
Yeah, they are.
People want to see faces, things that they can identify really quick. I struggled at the beginning because I was posting our trucks and our lumber and our doors and windows and all that a lot. And I was like, why aren't these doing well? And then I would post a picture with some people in it, some faces, and it did way better. And I was like, people want to see people. People want
Yeah.
to see faces. So if you want to showcase your product, great. Get a face in there. Get something that people can relate to. It's being more authentic. Yes, here's our truck and we love it. Put somebody in the truck and have them wave out the window and it'll do so much better.
I would 100% agree because I've seen the exact same results. And Beth Popniklov, shout out, has a quote that she said to me one time is, faces will always perform better.
Yes.
That is great advice. So figuring out your audience, figuring out what platforms you want to be on, making a list of things that you're proud of, things within your business that you want to showcase. I would also add on to that. Say you make this list of things that you want to showcase. Social media is a place for creativity.
Yes.
Content has to be made from scratch. So you do have to get creative. And I think that's part of the fun. Like, say you want to highlight your trucks. Maybe that just is a photo, but maybe the next time it's a video. Like, continue to just be creative and think, how can I do this differently? Or how can I highlight my trucks now? So getting creative with that list.
And then for people who are like, I am posting faces, I am like doing creative, but maybe I'm a little afraid to start reels because that is the next big step.
Video. A reel is a vertical video.
Yes. I would say start with kind of like how people, what we're talking about, start with just your products. Get a truck rolling by. Find a trending sound. It will have a little arrow pointing up next to it and post it and see how it does. Don't give up. Keep posting reels. My goal is to do 2 reels a week. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's less, depending. But just shoot for 1 a week, 1 every other week, and just push yourself and be creative. Have fun. Look at the trends.
I love that. Social media, especially Instagram, is just a place to kind of have fun and showcase the positive sides of your business. So you're completely correct, Sadie. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us. You guys have such a great team of social media people. Me leading, yes, you and your your consultants. So
wait, can you say that again in the camera? Sunny, you're my consultant.
So where can our followers find you? Like, what platforms are you on and what is your username?
Yeah, so our username is at Dakota County Lumber on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Okay, so feel free to go find Dakota County Lumber, grab some inspiration, see what Sadie's talking about. But yeah, this wraps up LBM Talk Social Media. We will have more guests on in the future, but for now, I am so grateful that you joined me, Sadie.
Thank you for having me, Sally.
Bye.
Bye.